Arithmetic mean, I think, is a lot more common right here for average. Like in grade school, I think a lot of teachers just call it average, but it also is called arithmetic mean more commonly in competitions, I think. Now we're given an interesting problem here today. We're given that three numbers, I didn't state whether they're real numbers or integers, have an average of 8. One would anticipate them being integers, but there's nothing that says that non-integers can have an average of 8, right? I think, right? But anyway, we're given that a, b, and c have an average of 8, a squared, b squared, and c squared have an average of 106. We're supposed to find the average of the products of these things paired up together. Okay. Now this is related to something called elementary symmetric polynomials, but we don't really have to know too much about that to actually solve this problem. Let's see. The first thing we can write down is a plus b plus c over 3 is equal to 8. And that, of course, implies that the sum is 24. Okay, so this implies a plus b. And again, I think it's pretty interesting here. I don't think we have a way of determining what a, b, and c actually are here, unless maybe there's some bounding that would get the job done. But we do have 3 unknowns and 2 equations. Okay. So this implies a plus b plus c is equal to 24. Okay, and in a similar fashion, the second statement implies that a squared plus b squared plus c squared would be equal to 3 times 106. Is that 318? 3 times 106, so that would be 318. Okay, so we do know the sum of the values and the sums of the squares of the values. That doesn't mean we know the values, right? Okay, now we're supposed to find the average of AB, BC, AC, and there's a very important identity right here. You have to just square all that out to get what you see there, so I'm not going to go through that with you. And then right here we're just using the numbers that we found in the previous step here. 24 and 318 are used right here. 24 and 318, and from here it's pretty straightforward. You get quickly to this. 129 is equal to AB plus BC plus AC, but we're supposed to find the average, right? So let's find the average. And so a simple division by 3 will end up giving us 49 is the answer. 49 is the average. Or sorry, 43. It's not so simple. Okay. So we get 43 is the average. ABG, in the name of brevity, okay, is the average of these numbers right here. AB plus BC plus AC. And again, folks, we don't know very easily, at least, what A, B, and C actually are. We're able to compute the average with everything, you know. But I guess you could use some sort of bounding here. You know, the fact that all of these squares have an average of 106 is going to bound them in some way. And there's some, you could probably do a case-by-case thing and get the answer. But there's no direct way other than using some form of bounding that I know of, because just the basic theory of equations, we have 2 equations and 3 unknowns. But anyway, the average is 43.